Welcome to General Chemistry 2, Chapter 14. Today we are going to be working on the following question. When does molarity depend on temperature? The answer options are always, never, depends on properties of the solute, and depends on properties of the solvent. In order to go about answering this question, we first have to look at what molarity actually is. So molarity is equal to the moles of the solute over liters of solution. So in order to find if molarity depends on temperature and when it does, we have to compare the moles of solute to temperature and the liters of solution to temperature. So starting with moles of solute, if we have an increase of temperature, we have no change in moles. And if we have a decrease in temperature, we still have no change in moles. And that is because matter cannot be created or destroyed. So changing the temperature will not have a change in the number of moles in the solution. However, if we have an increase in temperature, we'll have the increase in the volume of a liquid. And when you're talking about molarity, you're talking about a liquid because you're referring to a solution. Now, if we have a decrease in temperature, we have a decrease in the volume of a liquid. So essentially what that means is if there's an increase in temperature, the volume of the liquid rises, but in other words, it expands. And if you have this expansion, per unit volume, you're going to have less moles. So volume is impacted by temperature. And because volume is always in a unit of molarity, this means that molarity is always dependent on temperature.